Hello, hello, Uta Hagen here with my new gender critical socks from XXXY Athletics. And I'm just going to pull this up for a second. My new t-shirt with the word woman, which will make you a thought criminal, a TC, a thought criminal, a GCTC, gender critical thought criminal. And I am here to present part two of Gold's Gym response. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers and all my loyal stalwarts who must have been sharing all of this all over the place. Tish Hyman, I think that you are creating change in the world. It's going to be interesting. This is Tish Hyman, is this woman who suddenly was very startled to see a man watching her as she's toweling off her naked body in the ladies' change room at the Gold's Gym in the Los Angeles area. And she got banned because she did that going viral video of herself saying there's a man in there and we shouldn't put up with this and this. And there's something about her manner, her authenticity, her pain, the heartfelt pain. It was very evocative, at least for me. And apparently it was for you too, because I have never had 2,000 views of a video within the first 48 hours. So welcome to all of you, and welcome back to all of my loyal stalwarts. I hope that all you new subscribers become loyal stalwarts, and that you will go through my other playlists, such as Movements for Wellness and the nature videos from my garden. Here we are in almost the middle of November, and I have a few flowers still. I have to get those plants. I have a plan now to hopefully prolong my season a little bit. I'm up here in the north in the Hudson Valley, and so, winter will be coming, but I'm going to do a little experiment, which I never did before, of putting transplanting these calendula into a little greenhouse structure that I have. It's not solid enough to really keep them over the winter, but maybe I'll get another month of flowers. That would be so nice, because aren't they just so luminescent in the light? Yes. Okay, so this is about the trolls. This happens every time I have a video that has more views. Indignant, insulting, aggressive trolls come into the comments. And I so appreciate all of you for not going back and forth very much with them, because just rely on me. I'm very dependable. I check the comments 2 or 3 times a day. And when trolls come on, what I do is print out what they wrote, the silliness, and then hide them from the channel, delete it. We don't need to see that, because these are people who are indoctrinated and brainwashed. They speak in captured language, and they're unable to face the reality, which is the fact that no one can change sex, and we should not be telling children about it. We should not use even the term gender with children, because it's actually a grammatical term, such as der, die, das in German, or a le and la in French. And it just has to do with linguistics. And it's not, gender is used as a synonym for sex, synonym for sex, but it isn't. And then someone who is a nutcase like Peter Tatchell in the LGBTQ plus IA, animal ideation community, and he will say that, well, gender is different. We're talking about gender. But then if you say, but female or but male, then that's sex. So, really, what he's talking about is personality. And I happen to use shovels, pitchforks, a wheelbarrow, and all kinds of masculine associated tools when I'm out in my garden. Because I have to. Some of the weeds require the big tools. And planting in the bushes and trees I want requires the big tools. And that doesn't make me more masculine. I don't even believe in like masculine and feminine. There are constraints in movement, I know, from being a former professional dancer between males and females. Males are generally stronger. Females are generally more flexible in the joints. That all has to do with reproductive influences, our biology. Okay, on to the trolls. After I mention this one discovery that I think you should know, because if you're a trans widow thinking about contacting me, or if you want to add this to the information you've given me already, I have questions regarding the fetishes specifically surrounding wearing a male, your husband, putting on women's hosiery, women's pantyhose, fishnet stockings, maybe even leggings, shiny leggings, that type of thing that men generally don't wear. Although, you know, triathletes, who knows? And then, I mean, there was a guy who wanted to wear women's bicycling shorts. But there, you know, that was a trans widow who hasn't gotten back to me because she wanted to have her divorce finalized. It was so crazy. Anyway, so fishnet stockings, garter belts, hosiery. I don't quite understand. I actually remember when pantyhose came in. I was about 10 years old. It would have been, you know, the mid 1960s. And my mother didn't approve of them. She thought they might be too constraining or constricting or something. And so I remember, you know, giving up tights. You know, girls wore tights. You know, we had the pantyhose there, but then pantyhose for women came in, and you know, with more shiny and, you know, sort of fashion to it. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Sometimes I wish I had entered into, you know, a critique of fashion history and stuff. I think that would be kind of interesting. But anyway, I digress. So, don't respond to the trolls. Let me take care of them. I have even had people go and look me up on the contact that I give under the videos, and contact me and say, this video has a troll on it now, you know, you better do something. And thank you. I appreciate all of that. and no, the answer is no. That is overstepping the boundaries if you say threatening, insulting things to me or anyone else. Okay, here's one named Comedy Break, and I think he's just like a regular guy. But he says, I don't see how a husband deciding to transition is a greater, and he wrote that all in caps, betrayal than a wife deciding to leave because bored, unfulfilled, etc. Well, the thing is, the men sometimes say to the mother of the children he fathered that he wants to be called mom too. It's just more of female erasure. He says, am I wrong, or is this channel focused on anti-male something something? Well, no. Very clearly, he didn't look at my playlists. He didn't see the movement for wellness bit, or the nature videos, or the yes, you know, most of my videos are about this trans widow, ex-wife of a cross-dresser status. And that's, you know, because I'm helping these women. You have to admit, I have the only data in the world, in existence, on women who have gone through these divorces, and lo and behold, we're approaching 40% sexual assaults and physical assaults separately, each one of them. Okay, so the answer is no. I'm not going to let you leave that up. I'm not going to have people, defending me in my comments. Okay, then there's Red Aston Martin, and who says, as a trans person, this is not trans, this is AGP, meaning this Kyle Grant stuff. He says Kyle is an AGP. So the thing is, we don't know that. I think most of these guys, and sorry, Red Aston Martin, I think you might be AGP too, because there is a sexual arousal, that is a part of life. Unless you have real dysfunction, there is a part of life that is sexual arousal. And if you ideate a female persona, trans person, then you, this Red Aston Martin, sports car. What is the thing? I know a guy who claims to be a woman who has a Carmen Ghia. It doesn't work, and he parked it in my mother's garage, which was very rude. But, this is Madison, Wisconsin. And then Ophelia, she's like trans widow number 30 or something like that. Her ex-husband held on to a very old vintage red pickup truck. So there's, and my ex-husband went through a motorcycle period. He liked wearing mini skirts and motorcycles and having our children on the back. They did all wear helmets, but still. So you don't know about whether this person, Kyle Grant Freeman, who harassed Tish Hyman in the Gold's Gym ladies' locker room, is what we would consider an autogynephile, because the thing is, a lot of men who claim to be trans women also dress very sexy, but they claim to not be autogynephiles. It's a part of what they're trying to get you, used to. If you go to an affirming therapist, they're doing the sex business chats. Okay, then there's another one that I think is probably because when they have Duchess, Princess, and other, I can't think of other royalty names right now, but, or Queen, then you're probably a male who ideates a female persona. So this is from Otherling Queen. Found this channel purely out of the algo, recommending it to me due to every single video being about trans women. Well, we know from my movement videos and my nature videos and my gardening videos and so on that not every video is about trans women. And actually my focus is on trans widows, that is the ex-wives of what was our experience. Their behavior comes up because it affected our experience. Okay. He says, you would have been such a lovely woman if it weren't for all the transphobia. Okay, transphobia is a made-up word. It was invented by Davina Gabriel, and Davina Gabriel is one of the sad ones who detransitioned and then killed himself. And he was a big, aggressive activist. He coined the term transphobia in 1989, and then years later, about 10 years ago, detransitioned and then committed suicide because all the surgeries and all the hormones and everything really wrecked his body. So, holding the word transphobia over me like the sword of Damocles is not something that I'm very sensitive to. He says, I get the impression that your significant other was abusive, but that's not at all how most trans women are. Any man wearing makeup and a dress, or some version of what he thinks he is when he's out in female mode, going into the ladies' change room is doing a wrong thing, and women feel insulted and offended by that. And if these men who ideate a female persona and call themselves trans women cared about women and how we feel, they wouldn't do that. They would, I don't know what they would do. They would, the point is, it's a psychiatric illness. You are not well if you are doing this, and you're not going to comment all over my channel. So everyone, get outside, collect your last flowers. See you the next time.